All right, welcome everybody. 3-Day Weekend Club Live Virtual Summit. I'm going to help you today and the other experts with me today, experts, people, awesome people, are going to help you start creating your 3-day weekend lifestyle if that's something you'd like to do. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a group of speaker sessions. And the speaker sessions are going to be focused on helping you expand your vision of what's possible. And so, if you've ever been to a live event or you've ever listened to a podcast or read motivational books, very often people will have a unique perspective and they'll be able to help you see something that maybe you haven't seen before, do something you've not done before. And that's what you're hopefully getting from somebody that's doing that. And so, I have a lot of talented people. Every one of these people I know, I've worked with them in some capacity before, and they're great and they're going to provide some awesome insights for you. And then while that's happening, alongside that, I'm going to be doing more of a workshop style session. I have a framework that helps set you up for creating your 3-day weekend game plan. And this is whether you're an employee, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a freelancer, a side hustler, whether you're a student, whether you're currently not working, whatever the situation is, like anything else in life, this starts with a game plan. This starts with you having an idea of what you want to do. And in my case, it took me 20 something years to make it happen. I'm going to help you make that happen a lot quicker, or at least see how you can do that. And so what you'll see is there's the online community, and then there's also the workbook. And the workbook is available in the online community. You can download it there. And now let's do this. Let's go into your 3-day weekend vision. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. So in the community, I mentioned there's your workbook. So if you go, there's going to be exercises I'm going to talk you through here. And you could use a pen and a piece of paper if you prefer. But if you have the workbook has the exercises in there and you can do it there, whatever works best for you. And what I'm going to do is talk you through a vision for you to design and really create that plan for your 3-day weekend lifestyle. Few quick things, big picture. And this is why I'm doing this event. It's more possible than ever to create a 3-day weekend lifestyle, whether you're an employee, an entrepreneur, a business owner. Really, it's all about focusing on getting results. If you're an employee, when you get certain results, you can negotiate with your employer to say, hey, I'd like more flexibility. If you're an entrepreneur, you get certain results, you get paid more. You can do that as well. You can negotiate with the people in your family and make sure that you get the goods and the prizes that you do when you are being a good boy or a good girl. So working a 3-day weekend lifestyle with a 4-day work week can be learned and planned. This is one of the things I do. I work with entrepreneurs. Some of them, I've worked in the insurance agency owner field for years, and then I work with entrepreneurs in general, solopreneurs like me, people with software companies, people who are coaches, authors, speakers, and I help them create this type of a lifestyle by teaching them how to make more money in less time, doing what they do best, so they can fully enjoy their family, their friends, and their life. And it's really that last part why we do all this. And over the years, I've written a book on this, actually a couple books around this topic. And in my journey, I just started out working 50 to 60 hours a week in a company. And then I left the corporate world to consult for small business owners because I had enough money at the time. And then I wanted more freedom. And then the recession hit, and all of a sudden I had a little bit more free time and not as much money. And then, it's been something I've played with, but now I've got to the situation where most of the time I can work a 4-day work week, so over 85% of the time, and be enjoying that 3-day weekend lifestyle. And you might not choose that. You might say, wait, I want to work the days that my kids are in school and be off for the summer, whatever it looks like. Or you might say, wait, my kids have left the house, or I don't have kids. Really what this is about is I'm going to encourage you, especially if you're somebody, and this, a lot of people that really resonate with this work are people who have kids that are under 15 or 16. And they say, wait, I realize what I'm missing out on. I'm missing out on time with my kids. I know they're going to be gone soon. In the back, you can hear, "And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon." If you don't know that, look that up. Google that for you youngsters. But anyway, you know that time is passing and you might be missing out. Well, when you're in a situation where you don't have kids or obligations that will kind of tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, dad, hey, mom, what's up? Where are you? I'm missing you. It's tempting to say, well, I love my work so much. I'm going to do it 6 days a week or 7 days a week. I'm going to encourage you that there's more going on in the world. There's more interesting things going on in the world. And even if you're just looking to make money, when you diversify your interests, you can talk to more people and connect with more people and socialize better with people and in a more skilled way to help you make connections. So the simple concept of, a buddy of mine who's in the high-end insurance and financial services business says, Wade, I go golfing on Wednesdays. He says, why? He says, well, Wade, if you go golfing on Wednesdays at 10 a.m., Guess who's out there? The people who can afford to be golfing on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. And he says, I go out there solo. I just go out there and I get partnered with somebody. And then I get to talk with people and I get to play golf. I'm there to play golf. I'm genuinely there to just enjoy the friendship part. And once in a while, business comes out of it. So I encourage you to consider that there's more that can be going on in your life. And definitely don't believe the cynics, don't believe the myths. You don't have to make a lot of money. You simply have to be able to afford your lifestyle. I have friends of mine who are at the beach on Fridays, every Friday. I love playing beach volleyball. I'm there just about literally every Friday. I live in a part of the world where that's possible in Florida. And I have friends that make lots of money, 6 figures plus, 7 figures, some that are there every Friday. And I have friends that make maybe close to minimum wage, and maybe they're bartenders, maybe they have side jobs, or they're jumping from job to job, or they're just doing just enough, and they're there on Fridays because that's their priority and they can afford their lifestyle. Second myth, which we've seen taken care of more recently, which is that only entrepreneurs can work from anywhere. And as most of us are starting to figure out, many employees can work from anywhere. There's lots of companies, more and more companies are doing this. If you're in the United States, wages are going up, flexibility is going up. There's a lot of different forces other than government stimulus checks and whatnot that are leading to situations where people have had a chance now to sort of rethink. They've had some time off and they're sort of re-examining, what do I really want to do? And it's making people look at things differently. When I tried 20 plus years ago with the corporation I worked for, great corporation, I said, hey, can I work 4 days a week and be paid 4/5 of my income? In other words, I don't expect to be paid more per hour. I just want to get 80% of my income in 4 days. And the answer I was told was, no, Wade, you can't, because if you do it, everybody else is going to do it. It's going to mess things up. And we know you could probably still get the results, but sorry, don't mean to be mean, but it's too much to do. Now that's very possible. And then also the myth that only entrepreneurs can enjoy 3-day weekends or that type of a lifestyle. Talented employees, people who can get results, can do that as well, for sure. From a work standpoint, there's an idea that less gets done in a 4-day work week than in 5. Usually more gets done because it's with better focus, like when you're getting ready to go on vacation. And then the idea that it has to be 40. Now, some people will do. Sometimes I do. This week, I'm doing over 40 hours. I've got an event going on. So there's things going on. And other than about 2 hours over this past weekend for the last 3 to 4 weekends still. And back then, I've been doing my 3-day weekends. And for me, who can go very type A very quickly, that's very important. And then the idea that it can wait, you're going to have to wait until tomorrow. You can start moving towards it today. You might not get there today, but you can start moving towards it. And so the juice is worth the squeeze. The result is worth the effort. If you make the plan, you're willing to take a risk, do some hard work, enjoy, or just go through a bit of stress, and you're willing to fail and keep trying. In my case, that allowed me to have more free time, travel the world, live bicontinentally. My wife's from Peru, and we've lived down there for about 4 years on and off at different times. Enjoy being at the beach on Fridays. It's well worth it. If I had to earn it again, or if I have to earn it again, I will. It's worth the effort, just like anything else that's worth doing. So the 3-day weekend journey, here's how it goes for most people. First, there is an internal liberation. And this part right here might be the most important part of the entire day. Not that anything else after this is not important, but it's worded a different way. This is critical to happen. If this doesn't happen, then just about everything else is going to be really, really difficult to make happen. So this is the thing that happens with almost any sort of change. Usually there's this voice in your head when somebody else is doing something awesome to say, nah, that person, they're probably doing something wrong. They're probably dishonest. They're probably cheating. You're hating the whole vibe of it. Or maybe you're not believing it. Oh, okay, no, there's a loophole. Oh, well, they're in a unique situation, or they got a favorable situation, or something happened for them that's not going to happen for me. So this isn't real. Then you become a doubter and you say, well, yeah, maybe it happens for a couple people. I doubt it could happen for me. And then this shift starts to happen. And I'm hoping this happens today. I'm hoping this happens right now. And you're not going to hear me reference God or the universe much today, because this is not what I'm totally I advise on. I happen to believe there's a God. I can't prove it. I happen to believe there's greater forces, whatever they're called, that are at work that help people that want to do great things. There's enough authors, speakers, leaders in history that have spoken about stuff like this. So I encourage you to invite, if you pray, if you meditate, whatever, invite that force, that being, that whomever, whatever, to inspire you to become somebody who says, you know what, this is possible. This could happen. Somebody's doing this somewhere. So this can be done. And you know what? I'm hopeful. Maybe if I start taking action, this is something that I could do because, gosh, when I think about it, I used to make, I don't know, let's say $5 an hour. And then I made $10 an hour. Then I made $15 an hour and I made more over time. Well, if I've made more money over time, why couldn't I earn more free time per week over time? That's possible, right? So I'm hopeful. I'm believing it's possible. And now I start seeking information, which of course, if you're here, there's a good chance you're in that stage. And then you're going to decide, okay, I'm going for this. It might not happen right away. It might not happen exactly the way I want, but I'm going to go for this. And this is something that, again, this should be seconds today. I just need to update that slide. This can take seconds. It can be a satori, if you're familiar with that word, an instant awakening, an instant enlightenment, or it can take a while. Then there's the part of creating it and making it happen in the quote unquote material/real world. And this is where a lot of us will start as an employee. There might be some sort of crossover, and we might end, quote unquote, or in that stage that's an entrepreneur. It doesn't have to be this way, but it's very common where a person starts out and they're in this stage that I'm going to call the apprentice. And that's where they're just learning. They haven't changed jobs yet. They're working for somebody else. Some of you on this call might be there today. You might be working on a side hustle, or maybe not yet. Maybe you're just saying, wait, I just got to pay my bills. And then at some point you say, I'm going to see if my employer would allow me to be in a situation where I could earn paid time off, where I could, maybe not every week, maybe it could be something as simple as saying, hey boss, if I get a certain result in this month, can I get time off next month? And we start coming up with some sort of agreement where I can earn time off. And then maybe in that crossover, you start a side business, you start doing freelancing work on the side, and maybe that turns into eventually you being a solopreneur and or eventually a business owner. Well, that's the work. That takes a longer period of time. But like anything else, it's something that when you put work into it, you're going to see results come from it. You're going to get something that comes out of that maybe you had not anticipated, simply because that's how things kind of work. So what I want to do real quick is ask everybody a simple question. If you would just put in the chat right now, where are you in the process? And you can use my words, you can use your different words. Are you an entrepreneur? Are you, you're an employee working on a side hustle? Where is your situation, so to speak, that you're working on? And what are you looking to do next? Because what I want to do is all this chat as it's going on here, we're going to be helping other people. And as the other speakers come on, they're going to be looking at what you put in here, and we're going to do our best to answer your questions in the chat here. This is the best place to put the chat. There's a place for Q&A in the online community, but all the chat in here, this is going to be the best place to put your questions. Danny, thank you for that. Love your work. And I think it's so awesome what you're doing. Hey, Myra, it's been a while. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, cool. So what I want you all to consider is, regardless of your situation, that again, this is something that's possible. Now, what I want to do now is take you through a process that's going to help you get clear about, now in your situation, if you have the workbook already, this is going to be easier. If you don't, that's okay. A lot of stuff is available on recording after, and then you can just sort of check in. But what I want you to consider, again, just sit here, I already did that. What stage are you at now? And where do you want to be next? Now what I want to do is I'm going to walk you through an exercise of your 3-day weekend vision over the next 10 years. And what I would encourage you to do is kind of find a quiet place. Well, you say find a quiet place. It's find a funny way to say it. Well, hopefully you're in a quiet place or somewhat quiet place, or maybe you're not. But sort of relax for a second. Allow yourself to get present with where you are. And I'm going to talk you through something, and there's going to be a place in the workbook to write this down after. So you probably won't have the time to write this down during all this time, but I'm encouraging you to be present and go through this. And if you need to, take just a couple notes on the side or use the workbook for this. And so I want you to imagine it's 10 years from now, and you've figured out how to create an abundant 3-day weekend lifestyle, or whatever that lifestyle is that you're looking for. You've been enjoying 3-day weekends and 4-day work weeks for years. So you've been doing this for years and years. It's 10 years from now. You get to do work you enjoy with people who appreciate you, and they pay you well. Your 3-day weekends give you plenty of time to enjoy the people and the activities you enjoy most. How do you spend your time on Fridays? And right now I'm going to call that your third day. It might be a different day, but let's call, when I say Friday, we're going to use Friday as the day that's extra day of the weekend, assuming you're getting Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. How do you spend your time on Fridays? And who do you spend your time with? And it could be a simple word. In my case, it's I'm at the beach playing volleyball and or with family, but actually Friday's a little bit of a me day, at least the first half of it. And I encourage you to type in the chat, what is it you're doing on Fridays? And it's not just so that we can have lots of numbers show up in the chat. When you start sharing these things, number one, you might connect with other people. And also it might just kind of put something to it. Puts it as an intention. It's kind of like writing down goals. So what are you doing with your time on Fridays? And you'll see in the workbook, there's a place where you can get more detail in this. I'm just going to stick big picture at the moment. And then what are you doing on Saturdays? What are the main one or two things you're doing on Saturdays? Are you hanging out with friends? Are you getting quality time with your family? Are you doing an activity that you usually don't get to do that you love to do? Fishing, golfing, going to the beach, whatever it might be. And then on Sundays, what are you doing with your time? And I'm going to encourage you to consider that for each of these, first of all, type them in the chat, because again, it's going to add some weight. A lot of this is for you too. And I encourage you to pull from today for you. So you pull from this, you take what you want from today, you do the exercises so you get what you can out of this. And so now I want you to think about, what do you get to do now with your free time that you didn't used to be able to do? And this might be a specific activity, or this might be the way you do it. So when I describe to people what a 3-day weekend lifestyle is like, they ask me, Wade, if you could describe it in one word, what is it? And the word for me is pace. P-A-C-E, like the speed. When I'm enjoying my 3-day weekend lifestyle, there's a certain pace. I've got time. I have time to do things. I have time to be present with people and connect with them and listen to them. I have time to really be present with my kids and my wife. I don't necessarily have that the other 4 days, and that's by design. The other days I might say, hey kids, I'm really kind of busy right now. I'm kind of in a hurry. Okay, because Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to be really present. So what do you get to do now with your free time that you didn't used to be able to do? Who do you get to spend time with that you were not getting as much time with or any time with before? This question's the life changer. This is the subtle one. This is one of those things like eating well and exercising everybody knows it. It's so obvious, but not everybody practices it. And if you put it into practice, if you invest your time with the people you love most, want to be around most, enjoy most, and those could be family members, could be friends, could be organizations you like to volunteer in. Well, Jimmy Carter's in his 90s, and he and his wife still are at Habitat for Humanity doing that type of work. I'm at the beach with friends. Really good friend of mine, Larry, passed away about 2 months ago. Awesome dude, was always there for us on Fridays. Told me this was about 6 years ago. I was like, Wade, you got to be down here every Friday. I'd come down for a few times. Like, why? You got life short, man. So who would you be spending time with that you're not getting as much time with? And how has your new lifestyle positively impacted the lives of your loved ones and your friends? This is something most people don't see. When you get more time for you, you become a happier you. You become more present with people. You became more able to give people. It's the whole putting your oxygen mask on first. In my case, it's not being a jerk when I haven't got to do my athletic activities and coming home and or actually I work at home, being at home and being more edgy, as opposed to really having met some of my needs. And by the way, Fridays are awesome days to sometimes, if you have kids, they're at school, babysitter built in, boom, you're doing your thing, depending on their age. Or people are, at work, a lot of people at work, so the beaches are less crowded, that sort of stuff. So how has your new lifestyle positively impacted the lives of your loved ones and your friends? You're not just doing this for you. And what type of work are you doing to generate your income? This is 10 years from now. So again, this is vision. What are you doing to generate your income? How are things different? And what are you going to do? 10 years from now, it's pretty plausible or believable that you could be doing the type of work you want to do. And what type of work do you no longer have to do? This might be work that you say, wait, I just don't want to do this sort of work. And finally, I'm going to earn the right. I'm going to find a way to make the income. And it might take 10 years. Hopefully it'll take less. But 10 years from now, I'll be glad I did, or 5 years from now, or 3 years from now. I say breathe again when I hear this. This is the pace thing. How does it feel like to live like this? Is it calm? Is it chill? Is it relaxed? In my case, sometimes the middle of my week, this week, I've been a little stressed. I got this event. It's a big deal to me. But there's a already I know tomorrow in less than 24 hours, I'm going to be on a beach playing volleyball. So I already know, great, I can push. I can really push everything into this, knowing that the pace in general of my life is a very relaxed and enjoyable one. And so now one of your best friends comes to you for advice and wants to create a similar lifestyle. This is 10 years from now. Where are you at? And you agree to answer their questions as best as you can. What did you do to make this lifestyle possible? So again, we're talking to future you who already has the 3-day weekend lifestyle. What was it that you did to make it possible? And of course, we're going to share some ideas in here, but I like to tap into your wisdom as well. And whatever else you're connected to, inspiration by people you read, whatever it might be. What changes did you have to make this lifestyle possible? What were the things you finally had to shift? What did you have to drop or remove from your life that you just couldn't keep there anymore? And what did you get to add to your life that's enjoyable, that's fun, or that helped you impact more people and make more money? How did you feel when you made these changes? What obstacles did you run into? Your friend saying, hey, you probably ran into some things didn't work out. What did you run into? What did you do with that? And how did you overcome those obstacles? What advice would you give to your friend that you wish you knew when you first started? Was it to just get started? Was it to take action today? Was it to not put things off? And I encourage you all as you do this, share whatever comes up for you that you can. We're going a little fast here now. I'm keeping an eye on time. Share stuff in the chat because I want you all to understand at least half of the value that you're going to get today is going to come from the chat from other participants in the event here, not just the speakers. And when would you suggest your friend get started? Gotcha. When are you going to get started? And so the next part, once you've decided, hey, I'm a believer, this is possible, I can do this. What if it didn't take 10 years to create this? That's the question I want you to bring in today. And as we get ready for the other speakers, and you think about when you'd like to begin living your abundant 3-day weekend, 4-day work week lifestyle, set a target date and type that date in the chat. Could be a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. When is that date that you're going to look to have this working? We're going to start today. You're here. So I know you're starting today. But what's that target date? Please share that in the chat. And that's so huge to share. It's going to feel odd. And some of the people you might say, well, I don't know if I want to. Well, this is you making a commitment. You're going to try. Might not turn out, but at least you're going to move towards it. And are you ready? Awesome.